Josh Okogie, but Todrick Jackson as well. And, of course, how fitting that those two guys combine on the game-winning play. Todrick Jackson, a career-high 25 points, and the game-winning assist. Let's start at the end and what you saw coming off that defensive rebound, setting up Josh, who was flying down floor to ultimately get that buzzer-beating layup.
Well, as soon as I cracked back on the guard, got the rebound, didn't panic, kind of looked up at the clock, didn't know the time. I was like, I got 5 seconds. It was going down 4. So I took 2 extra dribbles and saw Josh fly down the court and just gave it to him.
25 points, career high, and you needed to contribute that. Josh had some foul trouble early on, but you were having a lot of success inside the paint, cracking through that 2-3 zone. What did Josh Pastner tell you before the game that made you believe those would be open and that those shots would be available and makeable for you?
He just said stay aggressive. You know what I'm saying? He knew we was going to play behind the zone, and we did. He wanted the guards to get behind the zone, and he told us when we catch the ball in the middle, just don't panic. Look, see what you got, see who's in front of you, and just take your time and just make a play.
Down 10 early to Notre Dame, a team that can lay it on you pretty quickly. What was the conversation in that huddle when you guys were down 10, and what did you guys do to scratch your way back and ultimately take a 4-point lead into halftime?
We didn't panic. Coach told us, basketball is games runs. So, we just, stayed with our principles. We played D, got stops, took better shots, moved the ball a little better, and, we cut it down. It's no such thing as a 10-point shot. So, he kept playing D, kept cutting down the lead, and, next thing you know, it was tied up.
Notre Dame has gone to back-to-back Elite Eights. They are a really poised team that have shooters all over the floor. What makes them so difficult to guard? I know you'll see them back February 26th in South Bend.
They lazy. They don't really play, fast. But, they act like they're, walking around, and then next thing you know, they'll come off a screen, each screen, and, driving kid, making shots. They just play slow, and they play into their system. And we have to play above that. We have to play with energy. We have to make them guard all offense on the other end. So by cutting hard and, and just scoring.
Have you ever been part of a game that ended in this fashion?
No, I've been part of the team that's been in the same game from last year. We beat them on the buzzer beater. Marcus had the buzzer beater last year against them at home.
Yeah, Marcus Georges-Hunt's game-winning shot was with 2 seconds left. That's amateur hour, as opposed to Josh Okogie. Todrick, a career-high 25 points, eclipses the 24 he had in the overtime win at VCU. 2 games this week against ranked opponents at home and 2 wins. First Florida State, now Notre Dame. What do you think of that atmosphere today?
It was great. We got the fans, in the gym. Big crowd and a lot of energy. We play off them. If we can have them like they was today, and then we play great off them.
All right, Todrick, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Josh, you had 35 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists against Florida State on Wednesday. It wasn't quite your day to begin. Before we get to the end, what were you unable to maybe recapture, at least at the beginning, and how important was Todrick giving you guys a lift off the bench?
The performance that he put on tonight was unbelievable. I tell him all the time, you can do this. Is like there's not too many players that has Todrick's skill set, and I know what Todrick can do, and I'm not surprised he did this because I play with him every day. He's actually my roommate. I'm really fond of Todrick, and I know that he can bring this type of effort every night. So I never question his talent. But today it was just a special night, and it just came at the right time. Today it was kind of hard for me to get going because of the foul trouble. I'll get a couple plays here and there, then I'll get a foul, then I had to come out. But I'm just happy that I could contribute. I didn't do so much as points, but I was able to get a few key rebounds and just make a few energy plays to bring us up a little bit.
Not a lot of points, but you got the 2 that mattered. Take us through that final play, what you saw. At what point did you look at the clock and have to make that decision? Do I go to the rim? Do I have to pull up? Take us through your thought process and how that play unfolded from your eyes.
Right when I was in the corner, in the opposite corner of the of our basket, and I was actually guarding the guy with the ball for a few seconds, and he kicked it to I think Farrell, and Farrell drove, and I was just making sure that he didn't kick it out to the guy that just passed the ball. So I was actually so far away from the play, and as soon as she took the jump shot, I ran, tried to go get the rebound, but as soon as I figured out the rebound, I couldn't get it. I decided just to take my chances and run, and whoever gets the ball, just hopefully is my teammate. And Todrick saw me, and as soon as Todrick got the ball, I looked at the clock. It was 5 seconds left, and I knew how fast I was, and I really didn't play a lot this whole game, so I had a lot of saved up energy. So I used all that energy to sprint down the court, and Todrick saw me. He gave me the pass, and right when I caught it, I knew I had enough time to get to the rack and there was nobody in my way, so I just drove as fast as I could.
And about 30 seconds prior, you missed those 2 free throws. What was going through your head at that point in time, and what does it say about you that you're able to shake that off and ultimately make the game-winning shots?
When I missed those 2 free throws,
because you had been you were 14 of 17 against Florida State. That has maybe not happened all year where you went 0 of 2.
Yeah, when I missed those free throws, it was in my head. I was kind of frustrated in myself, but then I looked up. It's still a 2-possession game, I think. Yeah, it was still a 2-possession game. So I knew that, my team would potentially need me at the end, so I can't really, kind of just keep thinking about those free throws. I had to move on, and we just had to get a stop. And I couldn't let that 2 free throw beat us on defense too. So I tried to play as hard as defense I could to get the ball back, and just happily it ended in a game-winning layup. Grade
school, middle school, high school, AAU. Have you ever had a buzzer beater like this before?
Yes, I actually have. In my sophomore year of high school, my first year playing varsity, I actually hit a 3 when we were tied, 50-50, hit a 3 against Berkmar, I think, at their home. And the buzzer went off before the 3 went in, and that was probably my first ever buzzer beater.
Well, it was 60-60 here, and this one maybe a little more thrilling than that 3 at the horn you had as a high school sophomore. This is a shot that and a sequence that Georgia Tech fans are going to remember for a long time. Same thing I asked Todrick. What was that atmosphere like playing in McCamish today?
It was great. I'm finally starting to really thank our fans because at the beginning of the season, we had a lot of fans, don't get me wrong, but it was never sellouts. And then we sold out at Georgia, which was typical. But now that we're really starting to get a great fan base, every time we have the ball, they're cheering. It just helps us play with more confidence and to beat teams like Notre Dame. This was a full team win, not just us, but the fans and the whole atmosphere helped us beat Notre Dame.
You had 35 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists against Florida State, but that might be overshadowed by the one shot Josh hit today, that walk-off buzzer-beating layup in the fast break to give Georgia Tech the win 62-60 over Notre Dame. Hard to top what you did on Wednesday, but that one shot might have done it. Josh, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back inside the Georgia Tech locker room. Our final score, Georgia Tech 62, Notre Dame 60 in a finish that few will forget here in McCamish Pavilion. Josh Okogie with the buzzer-beating fast break layup to sink the number 14 Fighting Irish and the Notre, joined by head coach Josh Pastner. Well, Josh, how do you put into words that finish?
Sometimes things are deeper than they look on the surface. And you might say, what does that mean, Coach? That means that I was subbing Corey Hayward for Josh O. If he was going to make one of the 2 free throws, going to sub him in and take Josh O out for defensive purposes, and he misses both of them, and so it works out that I don't get a sub, and then Todrick has what an unbelievable guard rebounding and the awareness and alertness to know the time. And I had one timeout. I was going to let the guys play, and that's a credit to Reveneau. Coach Reveneau was in my ear to let him play, and I agree with him. Let him play, and he had the awareness and alertness to see the ball going, pushing the ball off the floor, and then Josh O's burst was surreal how fast he was. It was like Usain Bolt how he was running. Threw it ahead to him, and he scored the layup. And I knew once it went through, it was game. I knew he made it in time, and what a win. Let me say a few things. First of all, the crowd was amazing. What a great job by the crowd. And it wasn't half and half. It wasn't half us, Georgia Tech, and half Notre Dame. It was full speed, Georgia Tech. So the crowd was great, especially in that last defensive stand. The crowd was so great on that. Let me say a few other things, Andy. They came out to start the game with low energy. Notre Dame did. So did we, though. It was a low energy game to start the game, and then they got that lead. They were making those threes, and then we fought back against that type of team. That's not easy to do, and we took the lead. And then once we took the lead, we held on to it for it was still back and forth, but we got ourselves back right there. I thought Josh Heath once again was phenomenal, and when we win the game, and Josh Okogie did not play well. He did not. He was not good today until that last shot. And I thought Ben Lammers had an awful stretch in the last 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. I was like, oh, my goodness, what were you doing? We were up 5, and he threw that one pass, had some bad passes. But he was so tired probably because he played 40 minutes, but I couldn't sub him because playing Notre Dame is a possession game, and you don't have time. Like, every possession is so critical when you're playing Notre Dame.
Down 10 early with about 11 minutes to go in the first half. But like you said, you rebounded. You actually led by as many as 8 in that first half. What adjustments were made once you got down double digits to allow your guys to free up that Notre Dame defense and get some better results?
I'm just looking right now. I didn't realize Todrick had 25 points. Big time win, but big time job by Todrick there. A couple other things. And you know what I'm proud of? I get on Todrick hard now all the time, but he responds. Let me say a few other things, Andy. Defensively, boy, they were picking our zone apart early. We had to play mostly man the entire game, and we really guarded. I mean, really well. And what it shows you is we can play to a certain defense and really guard. The second half, they shot 38% from the field, 25 from three. They're the second leading three-point shooting team in the ACC. Visteria, 32, only had 5 points and came in averaging 18. Was it 18?
14. Almost 15.
Almost 15, but he's really good. Senior, and we did a great job guarding him. And I thought we made Farrell, the little guard there, Matt Farrell, number 5, we made him take tough shots. So we really guarded. And here's the other thing. We were turning it over too much. We ended up having 15 turnovers. Now, we forced them into 11, but we had too many turnovers, and especially that start of that game. But 18 assists, Andy, on 26 made field goals. And they came out the second half. Their adjustment was to go in zone. And it bothered us the first few possessions, and then we got in the flow of it, and we were right there, and that middle was open. And Josh Heath was so good in the middle. We had some other guys do some things in there, and we really executed and played at a high level.
Why was Todrick particularly special today? 25 points, and you needed every bit of that because of Josh Okogie's foul trouble in the first half.
Well, the reason was because, he's effective. He was effective around the basket. But I also thought he guarded well. He defended well for the most part. He had 2 defensive rebounds, one being the biggest of the game, but he had some other where he was in there with energy, playing hard, and it's just kind of a flow for him. And, we got him around the basket. He's really good around the basket there, and he was able to finish and make some plays and made some big baskets. Kind of that stretch where we kept going. We were up 5, then they would score. We'd be up 3, then we'd come down and score up 5, so it was that stretch. The worst stretch we had was we were 60-55, and Ben throws that crazy pass, unbelievable. They hit a 3, we come down. Ben throws another bad pass to Q or takes a bad shot, and then Beacham 3 ends up hitting a jumper. And but other than that, it was just a back and forth game, and we got some stops late. And what a win! What a win! What a week!
Yeah.
What a week! What a week! What a win! Wins. Now, Andy, I want everyone to remember now, I was told when we were going to get the job that we weren't going to win a game this year in the ACC, that this is a major rebuild job. We are the most inexperienced team in all of college basketball. The most inexperienced team in all of college basketball. What I would tell you is this. We are still not out of the woods. Everyone's got to keep, we're still not out of the woods. There's a lot of games to be played. We still have to get better. We have a long way to go. We have 2 road games coming up. We have gotten better from the first game when we played shorter in our exhibition. We had to go to overtime to beat them to where we are now. We've become a good team, a pretty darn good team. But we still have ways to go. So long way to go before anything else, and a lot of games left to play.
Yeah, but you know what, Coach? After this week you guys had, you now becoming a target in the ACC. Wins over North Carolina, win over number 6 Florida State, win over number 14 Notre Dame in buzzer-beating fashion.
Listen, winning at North Carolina State is not easy. Winning Clemson at home is not easy. All at VCU, those are hard games.
Have you ever been a part of a buzzer beater like this?
I've been part of buzzer beaters, and it's gone our way. I've been on a buzzer beater just like this, but on the other end. I remember at Memphis versus Temple, we scored a bucket. They took it out. Now, we scored. They got it in bounds and threw it at a buzzer shot about 15 feet. Josh Brown, I remember it like yesterday. But so things work itself out. Basketball is just a funny game. Everything is just such a unique game. Each game is unique. And if you're in it long enough, there's going to be enough games go your way, and some might not, but you're hoping the ball bounces your way. And to be able to sustain in this profession, you're going to have to get a bounce here or there and a little lucky break here and there along the way.
Well, Coach, you gave Georgia Tech fans a memorable Saturday here at sold-out McCain Pavilion. Congratulations.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you.